That's Elon Musk. That's Twitter. This was a story that, frankly, you couldn't write. You couldn't invent. It was so extraordinary. He wants to buy it. He tries to get out of buying it. He ends up buying, and it's a mess. How do you square the circle for me?
I mean, it's really been such an interesting year of following this story. You know, it is something that Musk had actually sort of joked about and talked about for a long time prior to this year. But I don't know that anybody really expected him to just go ahead and do it and to offer so much money to buy Twitter. I think that was ultimately the reason why he tried to get out of it. I think he did want to own the platform, but realized that he was going to be spending way more than the company was really worth to buy Twitter, but he didn't get out of it. And now, it's blown up. Now there are so many questions about what's going to happen to this really crucial platform.
Well, now let me challenge you. Why is it crucial? What is crucial about a social network?
I think what's crucial about Twitter is it, despite the fact that it is smaller than some of its other social media peers, it remains this really sort of central place for people to get and to share news, and where journalists and politicians and academics, people who are really important in the sort of communication space.
So really it's an agency, in a sense that, somebody dies and I suddenly see 15 different quotes about Twitter, on Twitter from this. Somebody wants to make an announcement, they do it on Twitter.
Exactly, and in that way it's really important for the information there to be reliable, to be able to suss out what's real and what's not, because so many people who are sort of elevating conversations and making news are getting it from Twitter, putting it on Twitter.
Is Musk's administration of Twitter just eccentric, or is there something deficient?
I think that's the big question at this point. Does he have a plan? Or is he just sort of flying by the seat of his pants and trying to cut costs? I mean, I think the big thing that he's doing right now is trying to cut costs because he's taken on a lot of debt to buy this company, and those debt payments are going to come due. I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. But will he be able to sort of turn things around and really turn Twitter? It's not ever been a very good business. And so I think the big question is whether he'll be able to make that happen.
Right, but related to that is this whole free speech issue. And we saw it only just at the end of December with banning this account from the guy who follows his private plane, to allowing Donald Trump back on again. There's no seemingly coherent, consistent policy.
Right, and that, it's interesting because he came in talking about wanting to make it a free speech absolutist platform and criticizing Twitter's former leadership for the decisions that they made, and yet we're seeing him make these sort of one-off choices about who to let back on, who to take off, and there's no, as you said, there's no sort of transparency about what's happening there, and it sort of calls into question this free speech idea that he has planned, that he has for the platform.
Finally, there's no real board of directors or board. There's no, the monitoring board is gone. He owns the lot. So one suggests it's the regulators, particularly in Europe, who will be the ones who finally say, knock at the door, Mr. Musk, your time, we need to talk to you.
Exactly. In January, Twitter is supposed to have sort of a test case of whether or not it's going to be able to be in line with the new Digital Services Act in the EU. That'll be a big, sort of moment of truth for Musk and Twitter, I think. And, U.S. regulators could take some action as well. I think it will be interesting to see whether Musk's sort of courting of the right will help him when there's a Republican House next year, or whether, lawmakers will decide that he's too powerful in his leading of this platform.
Have you enjoyed covering it?
It has not been boring.